So, welcome Scotty Whitelaw. It's me, Greg Whitehouse. We're back for another year at Dodgeball European Championships 2019 here in Newcastle. The weather outside, shining for once, always a good start. Well, that's it. We're here to talk a little about some predictions for the tournaments. Obviously this year you're not playing, we're missing a couple of people from big names from teams. So that could hinder some teams' progress in the tournament.
You take a key player who's been in your squad for a couple of years. You start to build and develop the squad around those individuals and what they can bring. For instance, you look at England's setup. Brett Kernick, he is a fantastic player, brilliant arm on him, dynamic, catch, great all-rounder. Do England have that ability to bring in a player to not replace him as such, but fill that gap that he is going to leave there? And at the end of the day, he is a cracking player. People know for years, they know what he's capable of, and it's having someone then to come and step in. The same again on the Austrian side. She's injured, torn her ACL. Again, phenomenal player who is a great all-rounder. Who can deliver, who can take those catch-winning moments, and it's having those individuals that can come in to replace them. Austria, fantastic depth. They've got Presma, Buda, players who can step up to that line, deliver when required. And the same for England. They've got youngsters that are bringing through. Look at Nathan Christopherson, for example, Kieran Carrington. Two good youngsters who know the game, understand it, have good international experience behind them, but have calm, controlled heads too.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing here. That, like we said, Brett, he's such a good player, but you're also missing that presence on court, the tactical mind behind it. It's not always you're looking at an arm, because that's not what makes a European winning team. It's not 6 big arms that can all catch. It's a lot of depth. It's a lot of tactical change throughout the game.
It's not, and I think one of the biggest things that people forget is that
mental capacity of what a player brings. I mean, there's a player who people often overlook at his club level and at his international playing level. And that's Reece Woodgate. I remember watching him at the last European Championships in the final against Austria. 90% of the time, he was that last player in, But he still managed to deliver. He took those game-winning catches, those little clinch plays, and brought his teammates back in to push that Austrian squad back. And it's having those individuals and players that can do that allow you to drive and step forward in the team. Yes, you can physically, you can be one of the best players in the world. If you don't have that mental game to back it up, you are going to struggle.
And I think here, especially in England this year, it's the mental game, especially for England. For a couple of years now, they've not taken all 3 categories, and I think this year they're looking for it on home turf. I know the coaching staff, David Paul and John Rutland, are definitely looking to take the triple. But also from the other point of view, Austria have been so close, and they've taken the women's in the past couple of years in overtime sets now. The men have been up there in terms of how they play. The mix also been up there. So I think you've got to look at Austria for contenders to take the triple as well. You can't, cut out any team in terms of what they can achieve here at the European. And with the Austrians, when we watch them, they like to bring the big boombox, and they like to display their presence. So it kind of always shows that they're a home team, even if they're not playing on home turf.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things that is going to go in England's favour is they are playing at home. I remember playing European Championships in Scotland. The result didn't go our way in the end, but the quarter-final we had with England was one of the closest matches I've ever played. And I remember having that support of the crowd behind you, hearing them cheer and really value work. That there, it makes a huge impact. Hearing people chant your name, chanting to the squad. When you make, a wonderful catch, when you get an absolute screamer of a toe tap on someone, and you hear that crowd roar up behind you, it gets you going. And that is going to be crucial for England here today. However, Austria, knowing what they're like, they like to disrupt that atmosphere. They can do that. They can generate their own atmosphere with that. And when that is done, they are absolutely superb. And if they can get other nations, even the crowd behind them, they can cause an upset. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see that this weekend.
So I think looking into the mixed tournament first, we'll look at last year's seeding, the top 4 teams, England, Scotland, Austria and Italy. I think, could we look at a repeat of that this year, or is there a team that maybe isn't in the mixed top 4 that could climb into it?
I think we expect to see something similar.
Yep.
I think England, they're going to be up there. They're phenomenal. You look at how they train their women.
Yep.
They pitch them against the men. Okay, and that is why they are good. You know, you want your mixed women to be able to throw with you and be able to back themselves to catches, and that's what all the England players do. Harry Bignell, probably one of the most notable figures in that.
Yep.
You know, if she's got a ball in her hands, you're going to think twice about where she's going to throw, and if she doesn't have a ball in her hand, you're going to think twice about where you're going to throw at her as well. She is someone who can turn that game around.
And I think that's the key thing that you have to look out. It's not just the men, the 3 men that are on court, because when the men are out, that's normally what you're looking to hit out first. You're looking to hit out the men. A lot of the time, it comes down to the women clinching up these crucial game-finishing throws and catches. Like you said, Harry Bignell, she's up there. Beth Dix, where she's played the women's and the mix. I think you've got to look at players like that bring their presence into the squad. And I think Austria this year also, without Palani, she's ruptured her ACL, so they're without her in terms of catching, because I know women like that aren't afraid to catch anything that's thrown their way.
And I think as well, one thing that you see with the mixed teams, and it's a bit of a chink in their armour almost, it's the men. And it's, they see a female player they're thrown up against, and they'll take 10, 20% out of their throw.
Yeah.
Thinking, I'm not going to put all my power into this, and it's, well, actually, you still need to be doing that, because they are just as good, if not better, than half the male players that they play with. I mean, I think there are a lot of female players that I played with in my time, and I've gone, yeah, you're up there with us.
Yeah.
You are, you deserve your spot next to us, and you are just as good, if not better.
Yeah, and I think that's, like you said, that's something you've always got to rely on in terms of the females taking the catch. Like you said, the males tend to kind of take a bit off their throw, and I think sometimes that makes a better male player, that they're not afraid to full throw. And I think it's a lot about the crowd reaction as well, because you take a headshot onto a female player, the crowd's probably not going to be on your side, but it's that finding that fine balance between, are you going to take someone for your throw, or are you going to look at winning, the European Championships?
I think at the end of the day, though, with that, it's plays across the board. They're not always going to intentionally go to people's heads.
Yep.
Skilled players, they'll be going for toes all day long. Taking catches off the toes is incredibly difficult to do. Taking one at the throat, it's doable, and they stick there as well. So a skilled player, I don't think they'd ever intentionally go to someone's head. It's always going to be aiming at those toes.
Like you said earlier about the toe tap, I think that's one of the best shots that any player is looking for. Just to hit the toes, either for it to rebound catch or just skim off. Hit that toe shot. I think it's one of the most pleasant shots in dodgeball.
Having a few of them myself, when you see that just hit that toe and it's off into the crowd, it's just kind of it sends to the cheek.
Yeah, of course.
That was good. I like that. And hearing the crowd get behind it as well. It's always good to hear.
I think there's one team that wasn't up at the top 4, but this year, Sweden, they finished 9th last year, but they've got a lot more players. They're expanding their group of players each year. The big handball presence in Sweden, I think that shows in the national squad of dodgeball that they're bringing in these players. They've got big arms. They're always looking to take the catch down low. They're very agile, and especially in 5-ball now, that's what you're looking for. Someone that has a good mobility around court.
Absolutely. And I think one of the key things with Sweden is you look at where they're developing as well. They're not just developing at an international level. They're developing at a core structure. Speaking to Pierre earlier this week, he's talking about the championships they've got going. There's several different clubs are now setting up. And once you start to develop that, you get more competition inside your own nation. And that is where you then start to see the real talent come from. And that is going to pay dividends for Sweden today. And I would, 9th to get into that top 4, that is a big jump. But I think we could expect to see a bit of surprise from them. They could definitely get there.
Of course. So, moving on into the men's competition, the last year's competition, the top 4, England, Austria, Scotland in 3rd, and Czech Republic making the surprise top 4 there. We saw the overtime play against Wales, knocking Wales out. Wales looked absolutely devastated with that, but I think certainly looking to bounce back this year in terms of hitting that top 4.
And I think with that, I remember watching that match, and Wales, the simple mistake they made was they underestimated what Czech Republic can do. They still see Czech Republic as a brand new nation who don't really have a fully understanding yet of five-ball dodgeball. And that was the wrong way for them to go in to approach that. At the end of the day, they made it to that moment to get them to that third, fourth playoff. And that was, I think, Wales' shortcoming. Obviously, they're going ahead and have learnt from that, and we're going to start to see a lot more development from them. But at the same time, Czech, now seeing what they can bring, I expect to see them in the top four. I think one nation, though, who is going to struggle a little bit in that top four is going to be Scotland, unfortunately. It's been quite hard for me to see, but they've lost two wing players. And your wing players are your players that more or less control and dictate a lot of the pace and how you play. Losing Dan Ryan, myself, yes, but they do have individuals that can step up. Obviously, you've got the Day brothers, Tim and Johnny. Ross McGuigan, they've now pulled him back into the men's team, and that's where he should be. He's a fantastic player. He plays at Super League. He's one of the best players in Britain. Playing for these. So it's going to be interesting to see how Scotland come back from that. If you lose one individual, normally you can feel that hole pretty quickly. You lose two, you then start to struggle a little bit because it's like, okay, these players control how he plays. But I think Scotland, they've got a lot of youngsters coming through. They've got development. There is talent there.
And that's always nice to see. Like you said, it's so good for a team like that where we've seen in the past a big structure of players that have played for a long time all play together. Now, like you said, we're looking at youngsters. We're looking at the development players. And that's always nice to see, especially in upcoming years.
I mean, I want to see Scotland, for me, obviously being Scottish, I want to see them do well. I want to see them succeed. I really want that. Unfortunately, I think they're going to struggle a little bit just to pick up that traction.
Okay, now looking into the women's competition. Okie dokie. We've been told we've got to take a bit of a technical time out. We'll be back in a couple of minutes to round up the women's competition and our predictions on that.